after lunch it is because after lunch it is very difficult to attend any type of session. Basically, it is related with the research, so it kindly people feel that it is sleepless. Okay, so we will try to start some important points which are very essential whenever you want or whenever you start your writing the proposal. Okay, so a very good afternoon to everyone present over here. I'm very much thankful to IoT Academy for giving me an opportunity to discuss with all of the fellows regarding how to write the research funding proposal. Okay, so basically, what is the meaning of this research funding? Okay, the term research is related with the term, or we can say that what is research? Research is nothing but what exactly you are going to create the new thing in your field. I can say there are some things which are already existing in the system. How you are going to upgrade that system by providing some kind of additional features to that specific project. That's why we can call it as research. Now, what is the meaning of this effective? The meaning of effective is nothing but whatever the things that is going to be written from your side, how much it is essential, or I can say how much it is beneficial to the society. Okay, so today we will discuss about how to write a very good research funding proposal. Okay, so in this whole journey of 1 hour, we will talk about what are the different small things that we have to keep in mind whenever we write any type of proposals, and what are the different stages or what are the different steps we have to follow to write any proposal so that it will get accepted by the any type of funding agency. Okay, so we will start with the all the things one by one. Next slide, please, ma'am. Okay, so the first thing is nothing but we will talk about the foundation. Now, what is the meaning of this foundation? Whenever you start writing your proposal, the first thing is nothing but on what topic you want to write your research proposal. For example, if I can say that I want to write the proposal in the field of machine learning. So in machine learning, there are lots of fields are there, or I can say there are a lot of techniques are there on which the already some of the authors are already working. Okay, so for that purpose, whenever you start writing your proposal, you have to do the deep literature survey. Otherwise, what happened, whatever the things that is going to be written from your side, it may be possible that it is already published by the another author. There may be, these are the possibilities that is going to be happen whenever we start writing your proposal. Okay, so you have to think about your foundation, from what parameters you want to start for writing the proposal. Okay, so the first thing is nothing but you have to keep in mind is nothing but your vision. Okay, so whatever the things or whatever the topic on which you want to start writing your proposal, okay, so first of all you have to do the thorough study of that specific concept, and then you have to identify the lacuna, or you have to identify the gap that is going to be created or that is going to be analyzed from your side while reading the different number of papers. So first thing is nothing but you have to know about your vision, why you want to do or why you want to write this proposal. That is very important. Then once you identify the vision, or once you're able to know what is the vision of your proposal, then you have to think about the outcome. Now, what is the meaning of this outcome? Whatever, if your proposal is getting sanctioned and you will get some kind of funding, whether that project is having some kind of benefits to the society or not. So what is the contribution? Okay, whatever the project that is going to be done from your side, whether that project is having any type of contribution to the society. Okay, so second thing you have to keep in your mind is what contribution to the field are you hoping to make? What are the, if whenever you start writing or whenever you start reading the different number of research paper, then you can come to know about the research gap. Then whatever the research gap that is going to be identified from your side, how you are going to fill up that gap. So what parameters you have to consider to fill that gap, but at the same time you have to think about what is the contribution of that research work. Okay, so what is the contribution to the field? It is, this second point is basically related with the society, because what happened from last few years, whenever any funding agency call for any type of proposals, the first thing they are asking about the beneficial of the society, how the society is going to be benefited from your project. Okay, that's why you have to think about the contribution. Then sometimes it may be possible that you start already, you already working on any one of the specific topic. Suppose I can say, if you completed your ME, okay, and you are having one project, and now you are going to take the admission in the PhD, okay, and you want to continue the same topic of PG in your PhD also. At that time, we can say that you are having some kind of preliminary results. Okay, so it is not very difficult for any user to identify the previous result because you already completed your PG in that specific project also. Regarding the previous things, then you have to think about the results. Okay, so third point, you have to think about, do you have some preliminary results to build upon? Okay, because what happened, whenever we start writing the proposal, as we know that at the end of the day we have to show our results. Okay, once you will get your results, you have to compare your results with the existing systems, and then we can say that our system is good, whatever they created by you. Okay, so you have to think about the preliminary results also. Then next point, you have to think about any type of collaboration. Sometimes it may be possible that you don't have any idea in what field you want to write, or what are the problems you don't know. Then you can do one more thing, that you can visit to the nearby companies, or you can visit to the nearby societies, and then you can identify the different number of problems. Then you can study the different number of problems, and then you can discuss these problems with the, I can say, you can discuss with the collector, or you can discuss, if the problem is related with the industry field, you can identify some of the industries. If the problem is related with the society, then you can discuss with the collector. Okay, if the problem is related with the education field, then you can identify some kind of I can ministry, or like that, you can write some letter to them. Okay, so again you have to think about the collaboration, because what happens, whenever you start writing the proposal, there are some funding agencies that are going to asking about the collaboration. Do you have any type of collaboration with you? Okay, so at that time it is very beneficial for all of you. Okay, then next point we will talk about is, you have to well inform about the prior result in the field. Sometimes it may be possible that I already give you one example, that suppose you are already having one project that is going to be completed in the PG, and now you are going to continue the same project topic in the PhD also, by considering some kind of future scope. Okay, so it may be possible that if you have already results, if you already completed the ME on the basis of that specific project, then you are having all the results with you. You know what are the lacunas also. So in this way, in this way also you can think about. Okay, if you don't have any results, then you have to take some more efforts, like you have to read number of papers, then you have to identify the number of results, and then after that you have to compare those results also. Okay, so you have to think about whether I am having some prior results in the field. If yes, then you can refer. If you don't have, you have to think about how I can generate the result. If you are not satisfied with the previous results, then how you are going to improve that results by your techniques. Okay, then in foundation we already talk about the scholarly work. Then how you are going to benefit the society. Do you have any primary results? Have you done any type of collaborations? Do you have any type of prior results? And very much important is, which type of funding, or which type of fund you are expecting from the agencies. That's why I write one more thing over here. What will the grant funding allow you to do? Because there are enormous number of funding agencies we are having in India. Okay, and every funding agency can work on different parameters. Suppose if I'm going to talk about in engineering field, we are having AICTE. Okay, so under the umbrella of AICTE, we are having lots of schemes, like we are having RPS scheme, research promotion scheme. We are having GOC, that is grant for organizing conference. We are having one more scheme, that is AICTE Idea Lab setup. We are having MODROPS. We are having SC/ST community type of funding schemes. So whenever you start writing the proposal, you have to think one more. You have to think about one more point, that is which type of fund you are expecting. So what are the different things we are having? Suppose I need the fund in the form of sabbatical support. Now, what is the meaning of this sabbatical support? The meaning of sabbatical support is nothing but you already work in any one of the college. Okay, and now you want to I can say, if you want to attend one of the conference, or you want to go for the internship in one of the company. Okay, so you need, suppose if you want to go in a company for 15 days. Okay, so you want to go to the company for 15 days. At the same time, your 15 days salary will be given by your college also. That is again we have to think about, because what happen whenever we go for any type of results at that time what happen, we have to think about the money also. Okay, so in sabbatical support is nothing but if you want to go for any type of internship for 15 to 20 days, at the same time whatever the 15 days that is going to be invested by you in a company, at the same time whether college give you the your salary of 15 days or not. That's why this is going to be considered as a sabbatical support. Then next type is you already having a very good idea. Okay, now you want to implement that idea in the form of project, but for that purpose you don't have any type of proper equipment. So for that purpose also you can write the funding proposal for that. That is, you can call it as a research equipment. If you want to say that I am having a very good idea, I am having a very good pool of some research resource person with me, and I want to organize one workshop. Okay, so I can say that I want to organize one faculty development program, or I can say I want to organize one short-term training program for the faculties. Okay, so for that purpose also you are having one faculty or course development. In AICT we are having one FDP. In AICT we are having FDP scheme where you can organize faculty development program. In UGC also we are having FDP. Okay, then there are some what we can say, there are some private companies also, they are going to provide some fund in terms of organization of FDP. Irrespective of that, you require some resource person from that company only. Then travel support. In AICT we are having one scheme that is going to be called as a travel grant scheme, that is TGS. I can give one example. Suppose you are having one very good concept, and then while searching on the internet, then you can come to know that in foreign countries there is one conference which is very helpful for your knowledge. You want to grab that knowledge from that conference, but you don't have money, but you want to travel. Okay, so you can write one proposal in the form of travel grant scheme where you can mention that I am working on this project, and this conference is very beneficial for me. I want to attend this conference, but for that purpose I require minimum amount of, I can say I require 1 lakh rupees for that. Okay, so in this way you can write a proposal in the form of travel grant scheme also. Okay, so these are the basic foundation things, or these are the basic things that we have to keep in mind whenever we start writing the proposal. So we have to think about the foundation part, then how it is beneficial to the society. While starting writing the proposal, do you have any previous results with you? If you are going to write create any project, whether it is useful for anyone, as I will talk about whether it is beneficial for the society, that is you are going to provide some solution for some problem. So for that purpose you require some collaborations. Which type of support you require, whether you require sabbatical support or you require in the form of research promotion scheme, that is research equipment you require, or if you want to organize any FDPs, and for travel grant support. So these are the some of the points that is going to be mentioned. There are lots of there in the, if you go on gone through the internet, then you can come to know more conference. That is, you can also write a proposal for establishing a lab. Just a few days back AICT has started one new initiative in the form of AICT Idea Lab. Okay, so if you want to establish that AICT Idea Lab, you can establish that lab, and for that purpose the government will provide you the funding of rupees 1 crore, out of which 50 lakh will be provided by, will be given by the, or 50 lakhs will be given will be paid by the college, and remaining 50% will be given by the your central government. Okay, so these are the basic points we have to keep in mind whenever we start writing the proposal. Next slide please, ma'am. Okay, this is very important, because what happened, the idea or the problem, the solution of any type of problem cannot be implemented or identified in a single day. Okay, so whenever, if you thought that I am having one idea, okay, so this is one of the idea. If you can say that I can roaming into the society and then I'm going to identify one of the problems. So this is the problem in a society. Okay, now you identified the problem and now you want to provide the solution for that problem. Okay, so it cannot be happen in a single day, or it cannot be happen in a 15 days. It will require some time. Okay, so you have to do the planning. Okay, because what happens whenever you start writing the proposal, the planning is very important. Because what happens if you don't have any proper plan, you are not able to meet the deadline. Okay, otherwise what happens, the submission call is getting closed and still you are writing the proposal. Okay, so the planning is very important. The first thing is nothing but whenever you start writing your proposal, you can start writing the proposal 1 year out, or I can say from 1 year before. Then again, one more question came into your mind: how I can come to know? Okay, so what you can do is you can just frequently visit some websites like AICT, UGC, then INF, like that. There are number of funding schemes, agencies that we are having. You can go on to the website. Okay, then you can come to know that the government can call the proposals for this number of things. Okay, then you are having this idea. Okay, uh, uh, government wants the solution regarding the waste management. Okay, then you can come to know about the waste management is a field where I can write the proposal. Then from that year, suppose you start writing the proposal in 2022, then in 23 again it will get open, and then you can submit your proposal. In this way, you have to do your planning. Okay, then work backwards from when you need the money. That is very important. Whenever you start writing your proposal, at that time you have to mention how much amount you require. Okay, and how you are, suppose you need 1 lakh rupees, so you have to mention the bifurcation of that 1 lakh rupees, where you are going to invest that 1 lakh rupees, whether you are going to invest the 1 lakh rupees in the form of equipment. Suppose I can say I need 1 lakh rupees, so how I am going to show the bifurcation? I need 20,000 for analysis purpose. I need 50,000 for 15,000 for attending the conferences. I need 15,000 for purchasing any equipment. I need 15,000 for getting some kind of chemicals, like that. Okay, so whatever the funding amount you require total, you have to show the bifurcation for that. Okay, that's why for which part of work you require how much amount of money, you have to mention that thing in the proposals also. Okay, then let the project be the driver for how much dollar you are seeking. Again, the same question, we already talked about this. How much amount you require to complete your project. So this is the problem I am going to identify from the society, and now for getting the solution for that problem, I require 1 lakh rupees. So how you are going to utilize that money? You have to show the bifurcation of that. And then very important is you have to keep in mind about the funding deadlines, because what happened whenever we start writing the proposal, as the deadline still coming near to us, still we are writing the proposal and we are not able to submit the proper proposal within the deadline. So at the end of the day, what we can do is, if I can say that only 1 day is remaining, what I can do is I will just write anything and I will upload. So in this way, it will create a bad impression on the observer, or I can say on the examiner, who is going to observe your, or who is going to analyze your proposal. Okay, so the planning is one of the most important parameters while writing the proposal. Next slide, please, Ben. Okay, now we will talk about the next important term, that is about the grant for which we are going to write the proposal. Okay, so these are the some of the points that I'm going to share with all of you. That is, what type of grant you require. Okay, so the grant is related with the FDPs, faculty development program, or you require the grant for uh, fetching some kind of research in the form of RPS, I can say research promotion scheme, or you require the grant for traveling, that you can call it as travel grant scheme. The another type of grant is getting in the form of fellowship also. Suppose you want to pursue your postdoc, okay, from foreign countries, you are going to write one proposal and it is very good. And if one of the person from the another country really like your resume and work and your publication is also good, then he is going to call for fellowship also. So in fellowship, you did not need to invest anything. You just go over there. All the things are going to be given by the, suppose you are, if you want to pursue your postdoc from the Germany, your stay, your college fees, and all this stuff will be going to provided by the Germany company, Germany, I can say. This is one of the examples. So fellowship, which type of fellowships you require? Whether you require JRF, Junior Research Fellowship, or you require SRF, that is Senior Research Fellowship. These are the terms which are which continuously came across in our India also. Then number of advertisements are came into the picture, or I can say daily there are some advertisement. Most probably what happened in the current era, we are not able to read so much newspaper. Okay, so most of the time it may be possible that we are not able to know about where the fellowship we can do is there are some advertisement. You can visit the some websites, like you can visit the UGC website, AICT website, or you can visit the DST website, Department of Science and Technology you are having. Then you can visit the website of Ministry of Education, where you can go know the for what things they are going to call the proposal. So the advertisement is related with the RFP. We can call it as or RFP/CFP, call for proposal. This call for proposal is for anything. It may be possible for they can call for FDP or travel grant scheme or anything. Then there are some advertisement which comes under the part of SOA. We can call it as funding opportunity announcement, where I can say that I'm giving one example related with this. From last few years, there is one thing which is came into the picture number of times, that is related with the hackathon. So what is this hackathon is all about? The hackathon is nothing but, as we know that whenever we try to register on the website of the hackathon, we come to know that there are number of problems are given, already given. And now what they are expecting from us, they are expecting some kind of solution. Okay, so in hackathon, in what happened from last few years, the author did not need to identify the problems, because the problems are already given by the funding agencies to the user, and then they call the proposal for that specific problem, how you are going to provide the solution. In the same way, hackathon, what is hackathon? In hackathon, the number of problems are already given. Then what they are expecting from the budding engineers or students or young scientists, how you are going to provide the solution for that problem. Okay, then you are having some letter of intent also. Sometimes it may be possible that you are having one, you are written one very good research paper that is going to be accepted in or published in SCI, and your paper is going to be one of your paper is going to be read by one of the very good scientists. It's possible that he called you by giving the letter of intent. So these are the different ways by virtue of which we can come to know that where funding is going to be called or where the proposals are going to be called. Okay, next thing. Okay, so basically now we have to search for funding. In the previous slide, we already talked about the planning ahead. That is, we have to plan our system 1 year before. Okay, and then once you are able to know the problem, it required minimum amount of time or minimum 1 hour for getting the solution. Okay, now you are having one problem, you are going to identify how I am going to provide the solution for that, and now in between that, how you are going to create your system. Okay, now you are able to create your system. Now how you have to write your each and everything in the form of paper. You have to searching. Now what is the meaning of this searching? The meaning of searching is nothing but for which funding agency I can submit my proposal. So you require 3 to 6 months for that, for searching, because sometimes it may be possible that in the previous year on a waste management you will get the call, but in the next year you will not get the call. But you did not need to worry about that. There are some other funding, you can refer other funding agencies where this proposal is going to be called. So it requires around 3 to 6 months. Then you can use your online resources. Now what is the meaning of this online resources? Sometimes what happen, whenever we start searching any type of proposals, okay, so the advertisement are continuously focused. Okay, so basically what happen, you are not able to know where I can submit my proposal. So for that purpose you have to go for OSR. Okay, so basically this OSR is going to be considered as a part of research, where you can think about or where you can publish your work. Okay, so for that purpose you have to use your open source reading. I can say OSR stands for online source reading, you can say, or open source reading. So there are some private agencies also where you can submit your proposal if you are going to provide the solution for that problem. You can use the Spin Plus website or MI Foundation where you can get the fund. There are some federal governments, there are some grants you are going to receive from the government where you can submit your proposal. That is going to be represented in the form of federalgrant.gov. Some private agencies also where you are going to, sometimes it may be possible that in multinational companies there are lots of problems and they want to optimize their system. So for that purpose also they are calling the proposals from the user. Okay, so these are nothing but your foundations, organizations. Some are general where you are going to use the Google system for searching the funding. or sometimes you have to refer the library. So all these points are generally used for searching the agencies where you can submit your proposal. Keep in mind, if you are working on any type of system, you have to identify a funding which can support your domain only. Okay, in this way you have to search. Okay, next slide. This is very important. From last year, it is observed that there are very fake websites are there on the internet where you are sometimes they are going to misguide you. Okay, so whenever you are going to start searching the ideas or start searching the agencies, you have to think about whether this whatever I am going to refer, whether this is a right source or not. Okay, so the first thing is nothing but whether you are eligible for the submission of proposal or not. I will give you one example related with the AICT. Suppose AICT call one proposal related with the FDP, Faculty Development Program. Okay, and they publish one advertisement on a newspaper, as well as they are going to publish the same advertisement on the website also. Okay, now you are working in a college and you came across that advertisement, and now you in your mind you write that, yeah, this is one of the good source where I can get the fund. I want to start writing the proposal related with the FDP. Okay, whenever any type of funding agency they published any advertisement, at the same time there are some eligibility criteria also there. So what are these eligibility criteria? Suppose I can say that I want to write the proposal for FDP. So in AICT, for submission of the FDP proposal, there are some eligibility criteria. For example, there is one criteria that whether your college is NAC accredited or not. Second, whether your college is standing from last 10 years or not. Then third, eligibility is nothing but it may be possible that they can ask whether your department is NBA accredited or not. Okay. So in this way, they are going to publish the eligibility also. Okay. So while or before submission of any type of proposal, you start writing the proposal, you are having a very good proposal. Okay. You are going to provide the solution of a problem. But you are going to submit your proposal where you are not eligible. So at that time, your proposal is going to be rejected, and sometimes it may be possible that your idea is going to be stolen by another person also. Okay, so first thing is nothing but you have to identify whether you are eligible for the submission of proposal on that funding under that funding scheme. Okay, yes or no. If you are eligible, then and then only you are able to submit. Otherwise, you are not, a proposal is going to be rejected. So first, read the eligibility criteria. Then second, as we know that each and every proposal is going to be written by keeping in mind some of the problems. Okay, and now you are going to provide the solution, whether your solution can meet the goal of the agencies or not. Suppose I want the proposal in the form of waste management, whether your solution can really provide me the solution related with the problem of waste management, whether your project can satisfy my conditions or not. Okay, so you think about the does your goal meet the funders mission. If I am going to give you the money, suppose I will give you one more example. Suppose I want to do some kind of furniture work at my home. I want to create one cupboard, I can say. Okay, and I am asking you how much you need money. So you say that I need 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so I will say that this is my criteria. I need a proper color, and it is will be good, and it will be strong, and I can move anywhere. I need a wheels under that, like that. So these are my requirement. And now you can say that, sir, I can do this, I can do this, but whether I will get the cupboard as per my requirement or not, that is very important. Then grant size. You are writing the proposal having costing of rupees 2 lakh, and there is mentioned that I am going to provide only 1 lakh rupees. So how you are going to minimize your costing? How you are going to minimize your bifurcation? How you are going to minimize the cost? Because whether whatever the grant that is going to be, you need one grant. Suppose you require 2 lakh rupees, but I will able to pay only 1 lakh rupees, my funding agency. So how you are going to resize your research work again? And last, you have to think about the timing. Whenever there will be advertisement came into the market or on an internet, then the timing is mentioned. The work or the proposal is going to be eligible, or you have to complete your research work in the tenure of 24 months, 12 months, 6 months. In this way, they are going to mention the time. And once you are able to get the, once your proposal is getting sanctioned timely, it is going to be analyzed by the funding agencies. Okay, that is why we have to think about the timing work. Next slide. What most of the time, what small mistakes that is going to be done from our side. Very, very, very small mistakes are there. What happened? We just read, yeah, there is one call for proposal from University Grant Commission for research work. Oh wow, yeah, I can see the advertisement on a website. I will go to my senior. I told him that, sir, there is one call from University Grant Commission, and they are expecting one research proposal from the colleges. So without reading anything, without thoroughly gone through the website of the UGC, you start writing the proposal. And I can say you invest your 20 days for writing this proposal. Okay. And once you complete your research work, or once you finish with your writing work, then now you decided, now I want to upload the all this information on a website so that I can get the fund. Then you just log in. There is one sign in tab is there. You will just sign up and then sign in the tab, and then you will start fill up all the information. Okay. All the information are uploaded on a website, and then you can submit. And after that, you will receive one message that you are not eligible for the submission of this proposal. Your proposal is getting rejected. So there is one question came into why my idea is good. I can provide the solution in a proper way. I can mention all the things properly in my research proposal, and it is really beneficial for the society. So where is the lacuna? The lacuna is related with the guidelines. So what happened whenever we approach for any type of uh, proposal, or whenever you start writing the proposal, you can gone through the all the guidelines, because the guidelines are given. Suppose they need the proposal for providing the solution of rainwater harvesting, how I can store the rain, how I can store the water, because it is one of the basic problems we are facing in the recent time in our India also in some areas. Okay, so they are expecting the proposal how I am going to store the rain in the form of rainwater harvesting, and you are start writing the proposal for waste management. So for why these things are happening, because you are not able to read the guidelines properly. Okay, so you have to read, you have to reread again, you have to reread the guidelines which is given on a website in the advertisement. In the advertisement, they are mentioning about, they are mentioning titles, they are mentioning problems, they are mentioning objectives. What are their objectives? What are the problems they are facing? Which type of solutions they are expecting from the author or the researcher? How much amount they will pay? That is grant. How much sanction they? How much amount they can sanctioning? Then time period is there. Important criteria is there. Eligibility criteria. Somewhere it may be possible that they are asking that whether your college is having establishment of around 10 years. You can say yes. But for principal investigator or co-principal investigator, like I said, there are two terms: principal investigator and co-principal investigator. So the principal investigator is having an experience of around 15 years. It should be a category of a professor, and it is a regular faculty in the college. These are the three criteria related with the principal investigator. If you are a visiting faculty or you are an ad hoc faculty and you are uploading the proposal, then your proposal is again rejected, because you are not because your name is not there as a approved faculty. The guidelines are there. What is principal investigator? Principal investigator is the main person, and co-PI is the supporting faculty who is going to support the PI to get the solution. Okay, so for that purpose also you have to read the guidelines. They are mentioning that I need co-PI having 15 years of experience, grade of professors, PhD compulsory, and are approved faculty. For co-PI, we require associate professor, 10 years experience, approved faculty. PhD is compulsory. Why these things are there? Because whenever you submit your proposal on a website, there are one tab that is PI. They are asking about what is the name of the PI, highest degree, stream, then how much research paper, how much patent, how much grant you already getting from the others. In this way, so you have to read all the, or you have to fill all this information over there also. Next slide, please, ma'am. That is very important. Tricks of the trade. Now, what is important is how you are having, you have to have required some tricks so that your proposal is getting accepted. So first thing is nothing but you have to identify a theme where you are able to submit the idea, or you thought that, yeah, this is the problem I'm going to identify and my solution is very best. At least in a state, I'm going to able to, in a state of condition, I'm confident that my solution is very good. Okay. So then for that purpose, you require some kind of preliminaries. Now, what is the meaning of this preliminaries? Preliminaries are nothing but whether in that specific field there are some already sanctioned projects are there or not. So you have to identify the whether you are having a successful proposal or not. You have to identify, obtain a successful proposal. Then tell everyone about your project. Now, what is the meaning of this? Tell everyone about your project. Sometimes it may be possible that you are not in a state of conditions to provide the solution completely. You are not having all the ideas related with the project. Suppose I can say in CSE, my project is interdisciplinary, where I require the help of one person from computer and one person from the electronics. I am very good in machine learning. I am very good in IoT, I can say, but I don't have any idea related with the sensor devices. Okay, so for sensor devices, I require the help of the electronic person. Okay, so in this way, if my project is multidisciplinary, I have to create one group where I can discuss my problems. I'm going to say what are the solution. Partially you are able to provide the solution, but the remaining portion you are not able to provide the solution because that is not your working area. Then you are going to discuss like that. You require one more person from that field, and then you will discuss. In this way, what you can do is you are able to discuss your project in a proper way, but the condition is nothing but you are not going to disclose your ideas with everyone. Here I can tell everyone about your project. The meaning of that is nothing but you are going to create your group in such a way that where you are going to discuss your things so that you will get the solution of your problem. Then most of the time there are some problems where I can say that you are not able to identify the different number of guidelines. You are just confused what exactly they want. Okay, so for that purpose, what you can do is you are going to create a relationship with the program officer. So what is this PO? PO is nothing but your program officer. So what is the role of this program officer? The role of this program officer is to put the advertisement on a website, or I can say is one of the person who is responsible for calling the proposals. Government is giving the responsibility to that person for getting the proposal. So if you are having some kind of doubt, you are going to request that program officer for a 15-minute conversation. If you thought that, sir, whatever the problem that is going to be mentioned by in your funding schemes, I am very good in that. I can provide the solution, but I am just confused. So can I discuss with you in what parameter you are expecting the solution? Okay. So by doing the conversation, it may be possible that it will create a good impact on the program officer. Whenever you submit your proposal, he will analyze it. Yeah, you are now, he knows. Yeah, Mahip Bhattare submit one proposal. He already discussed these things with me. He is very good in that. So whenever the scrutiny team are there, he talked to the scrutiny team. Yeah, sir, I discussed with the Mahip Bhattare. He is very good in that problem solution. So I think he is a good person for that. So it will create a good impact. Then you can attach your one-page summary. Now, what is the use of this summary? These summaries are generally useful for mentioning your contribution to that specific in that domain. What you contributed, whether you contributed in the form of patent, or your contribution in that specific domain in the form of project, or you are getting any type of publications. So in this way, you can attach a one-page summary, okay, so that it will get good impact on the users, or I can say program officer. Then do not ask foolish question. Now, what is the meaning of this foolish question? All the things are already given on a website and still you are asking the same question to the program officer. Don't do such kind of thing because it will create a bad impact. It means that you are not able to go, or you're not gone through the website thoroughly. In in funding agencies or funding, when who is going to call the proposal, there are one tab that is frequently asked question. So whatever the questions are there that is came, they thought that yeah, this may be questions came into the mind of the user, so already they provide the solution for that. If you are not having a questions where you are not able to get the answer in that FAQ tab, you can ask the program officer. Okay, so only ask the questions which is not going to provided on a website, or you are not able to get the answer from the guidelines. Sometimes it may be possible that you are having one question, but the answer of that problem is available in the guideline directly, and still you are asking to the program officer, so he thought that you are just wasting his time or her time. Then you can go for a review, a draft. Sometimes it may be possible that whenever you start writing the proposal, whether you have to review a draft, whether your draft is written in a proper way or not. So these are some of the tricks you have to keep in mind while submission of the proposal. Next thing. So what is this proposal development? Now all the things you can came across, you know the problem, you know the solution, you are having some data with you, you know under which scheme you want to submit your proposal. You already read all the guidelines. Now you can come to know that yeah, now I am eligible for the submission of the proposal. Okay, so first thing is nothing but know your audience. Know your audience is nothing but whenever any funding agency call for any type of proposal, they are going to talk about the problems and who is the beneficiary for that. So whenever you start writing the proposal, you should know about your audience. Then you have to write an outline. Now what is the meaning of this outline? Outline is nothing but you have to just give the brief of your proposal by using RFP headings and reviewing criteria. So request for proposal is there. Okay, so whatever the whenever you start writing the proposal, if AICT call the proposal for RPS, research promotion scheme, so this is the outline. Okay, so how you are going to write the proposal? Sometimes it may be possible that on a website they also write one criteria how your proposal is going to be reviewed. So you can also read that reviewing criteria also while writing the proposal. Then you can write a different number of drafts for the same title. Sometimes it may be possible that you are writing one proposal for keeping in mind for AICT, but you thought that same type of problem is also faced by the UGC agency. Okay, so you are going to create the several drafts also. So it may be possible that on the multiple place you can submit your proposal by just changing some dilemma, or but by just identify your, or by just keeping some kind of updations in your research proposal. Then before submission of any type of proposals, if you are having a very good relationship with the senior person who is very good in that specific field, okay, so what you can do is you just ask your colleagues, or you can ask your guide, or you can ask the senior person who is very good in that specific field to comment whatever the proposal which is written from your side, whether it is good or not, whether they are expecting some kind of changes. So in this way you can get the comment. So why comments are important? What happens whenever we start writing any type of proposal, we say that this is very good, because it is going to be written by our side also directly. So you are going to take the comment from the senior person so that he can guide you. Yeah, you can change this thing, or he can show you multiple ways for getting the solution in this way. Okay, and then if your proposal is submitted and your proposal is going to be reviewed by the reviewer, you have to give the questions. Okay, so there are some questions to the reviewer, you have to give the answers of that. So in this way you have to think about the proposal development. Next slide. So what reviewers ask, maybe ask to you, they will ask about the intellectual merit. Now what is the meaning of this intellectual merit? Whenever you submit your proposal for providing the solution of any type of problem, okay, so you say that yeah, my proposal can provide the solution for that specific problem, whether that problem is really good, or I can say whether after the completion of this project, whether you are able to upgrade your knowledge in terms of whether you are going to upgrade your knowledge in your same field or in the different number of fields. You can say maybe he will ask or she will ask about the what's the broader impact whenever you complete your project, whether it will really create an impact on a society, how well does the activity advance, whether your discovery is good or not, or whether it is going to be understanding or not by the another persons or not. Because what happens sometimes, it may be possible that your idea is not going to be understand by the another fellows. Okay, so what is the broader impact, whether it will create the impact in teaching learning process, I can say, if your proposal related with the teaching, whether it is disseminated, I can say, or very important, the last line is very important, what may be the benefits of the proposed activity to the society, whatever the solution that you want to provide. Okay, whether that solution will be very much useful to the society or not, that is very, they will ask about. The meaning of disseminate is nothing but whatever the proposal which is going to be written from your side, whether it will I can say, whether it will distribute the knowledge or whether it will circulate the knowledge in the different societies or not. In this way, reviewer may ask. There are more questions. Next slide. I already talk about one more important parameter. This is eligibility criteria of PI and co-PI, principal investigator and co-principal investigator. So while the submitting the proposal, you have to read the eligibility criteria for PI and co-PI also. That's why they are asking about. If you are not reading the criteria, eligibility criteria, still you are uploading the proposal, they will ask whether your PI and co-PI are really qualified. Then they may be asked about whether your project is feasible. Now, what is the meaning of this feasible? Feasibility study. Have you came across this word feasibility study? Feasible is nothing but whenever you create any type of project, whether that project can give you feasibility or not, whether it will good or not. Feasibility is, the meaning of feasibility is nothing but the possibility that can be made, done or achieved, whether it is reasonable or not, like that I can say. Okay, so in this way they will ask. Then whatever the funding, suppose you are expecting the amount of rupees 2 lakh and they are telling that I am going to provide you 4 lakh, whether 2 lakh is sufficient for the completion of the project. That's why, are the requested funds are appropriate, and at the end of the day, how will the project will be evaluated. At the end of the day, reviewers want to know on what parameters I can judge your project. Whether you talk, if you say that you can judge my project on the basis of my outcome, they can consider that parameter. Subject, there are some subject to the conditions are there, subject conditions are there. Okay, on the basis of that they can move forward. So up till now, what we discuss about the foundation, we talk about the foundation part, then we talk about the planning. After that, we talk about the how I can come to know the funding schemes, how I can go for the searching of the funds. Then I am going to talk about the research sources, whatever the sources that I am having. I'm mostly emphasizing on reading the guidelines properly. Then what are the traits we are having, how to develop the proposals, what are the questions came in front of you after given by the reviewer to you. Okay, now we will talk about one more important parameter, that is writing style. Next slide, ma'am. So whenever you start writing your proposal, kindly format your proposal as per the guidelines given on our website. From last few years, we did not need to worry about the format, because what happened, all the funding, most of the funding agency call the proposal online directly. You have to just visit the website, you have to sign up, then you have to log in. All the things are already given over there. You have to just put the answers for that specific parameter. You did not need to worry about the format or font. Okay, but there are some funding scheme which can call the proposal in hard copy. So at that time you have to think about the format. Then whenever you start writing the proposal, whenever you are writing your proposal, it should be general, it should be public. Do not write any specific thing. After writing the proposal, you can check your proposal. I can say you are going to check the grammars. There are some, it may be possible that there are some grammatical mistakes. You can use the third person. Do not get jargon. Do not put the things which is not in your hand. That's why do not write a jargon. Be right whenever you start writing the proposal. It is very specific. It can provide this it can provide the solution for that problem very specifically. Write simply. Okay, mention main points in your proposal, and very much important last point is check the spellings. Most of the time whenever we writing the proposal, we are doing some silly mistakes. Okay, so at that time you have to think about the spell check. So you have to do the formatting given by the guidelines, write general. You can verify your proposal from the third person, where you can come to know about the problems in is there any grammatical mistake or not. Do not write any things which is not in your hand, that is related with the jargon. Be specific, mention main points in your research proposal, and check the spellings. The next slide please, ma'am. Now you have to think about the budget. Whenever you start writing the proposal, you have to think about the budget. Now what is this budget? Budget is nothing but whenever you are writing, whether it will help you to plan the research project, whatever the funding that you require, whether it is sufficient or not. Then you are going to use the Excel sheet. Once your proposal is getting sanctioned, use Excel sheet or spreadsheet where you are going to mention all the things for which thing you require how much amount. Then if you say that this fund is not sufficient for me, I need some fund from my college also. So at the time of the submission of the proposal, you can mention that thing. Then you can refer some institutional data. For that purpose, you are having some one office, that is Office of Sponsored Research. If you thought that you can get the, you need the approval, you can get the approval from that office also. Okay, next term. So these are the some terms which are associated with the budget, that is principal investigator and co-principal investigator. I can say principal and primary. PD stands for project director, which is called as PD. If you are writing the proposal for FDP, so who are the participants, who are the conference attendees, whether it is students or faculty. What is the objective, whether it is in the form of some student training program or faculty development program. Then what type of benefits you are expecting, whether you require the benefits in the form of taxes, retirements or insurance, I can say. These are the some terms which are associated with the MBA funding agencies. There are some indirect funds are there where there are some overhead costs. I can say there are some things, suppose you require some chemical for your lab work. Now you are going to use that chemical. So whenever the team came to analyze whether you are working properly or not, they will not ask, yeah, you write 1 kg chemical. Show me where this 1 kg chemical or 1 liter chemical. Okay, because that chemical is overhead, or you already use that chemical, so you did not need to show. Okay, then cost share, whatever the funds which is going to be received from the external funding agency, whether you require more from the internal, like that. So these are the some of the budget terms you require, which are associated while writing the proposal, and it is very useful for you. Next slide please, ma'am. Okay, so these are the some internal process that we have to think about. We have to complete the early notification. Sometimes it may be possible that you are having some kind of if you are need some amount from your college as a partial amount, so that you can complete the work. So there are some forms which are available over here on a website also, or in your college. So you have to fill up the form. You have to give the early notification to the college. I need 15,000 rupees for complete this task. Okay, then you have to mention whether it is the institutional cost or not. Then if there are some institutional cost share, if you require 2 lakh, your institute will give you 1 lakh rupees, and 1 lakh will get from the external funding agencies. Then routine checkup, I can say, now of this routine checkup. Once you get the fund, there will be a routine visit from the agencies to your college, whether you are working in a proper way or not, like that. So these are the number of processes that we have to follow. That is going to be considered as an internal process. The next slide, we have to talk about the submission. Next slide please, ma'am. So submission can be done directly from a website. Okay, then while submitting the proposal, you have to think about whether your proposal meeting the requirement of the schemes or not, whether you attach all the files or not. They are asking number of data from college also. Okay, so for that purpose, the template is already given in the website. You have to download that template, you have to fill that information, you have to take the signature of the head of the department, or you have to take the signature of the principal. After doing all these steps, you have to scan that document and you have to upload that document, whether you are able to upload all the documents or not. Okay, and then you have to read the guidelines again and again by using OSR. So once you are able to complete all these tasks in within the deadline or before the deadline, I can say you are able to submit your proposal. Once before the submission of the proposal, they will ask you review and submit. So there is one button that is review. Again, you can review your proposal, read all the things which are going to be written in a proper way or not. Okay, if there are some changes, you can do the changes, because what happens in most of the website, once you submit the proposal, you are not able to edit that proposal again. So for that purpose, they are asking review. Again, you can review all the things, whether all the things are written properly or not. If you are satisfied, then we are going to click on submit button. It means that our proposal is getting submitted. So in next slide, once you able to submit, you click on submit button, your proposal is getting submitted. You can get the message as congratulations, you successfully upload your proposal. Wait for the answers from the funding or given person, or wait for some time so that we will reply, like that. After the submission of the proposal, you are going to relax and wait for the response from the another side. So these are the number of steps. Next slide, please, ma'am. Actually, there is one video is there which is missing from my side. Next. So once you are able to complete all these steps, you are going to submit your proposal. Then just wait for the response from the another side. If they are having some query, they will ask. If they don't have any query, they will stop and they will conclude all the things. Okay. So in this way, we will start writing and we will discuss all the things which are associated with the writing things. So thank you.